The ground shook beneath the research facility as Dr. Maya Chun dropped her coffee mug. It shattered against the cold floor, but she did not notice. Her eyes were fixed on the massive structure in the center of the laboratory. The ancient machine, buried 3 kilometers beneath the Antarctic ice for what experts estimated to be over 400,000 years, was finally doing something. For 6 years, the international team had studied this impossible artifact. They had drilled through ancient ice, discovered a chamber that should not exist, and found technology that made everything humanity had ever built look like children's toys. The machine was the size of a small building, covered in symbols that matched no known language and made from metals that did not appear on any periodic table. Until this moment, it had been completely dead. Every scan, every probe, every test had shown nothing. The machine was silent, cold, and mysterious. Scientists had begun calling it the tomb, believing it was perhaps a monument to some long-dead alien civilization. Now, blue light pulsed through channels carved into its surface. The symbols began to glow one by one, like stars appearing in a night sky. A deep humming sound filled the laboratory, vibrating through the bones of everyone present. "Everybody out!" shouted Director Thomas Bradley. His voice cracked with fear. Emergency evacuation. Now, scientists ran. They abandoned their equipment, their research, their life's work. They pushed through doors, climbed stairs, and sprinted down corridors. Maya ran with them, her heart pounding against her ribs. Behind her, the humming grew louder, deeper, more powerful. The elevator was too slow. The stairs seemed endless. Maya's lungs burned as she climbed, following the emergency lights that blinked red in the darkness. The entire facility was shaking now, and she could hear things falling, breaking, crashing somewhere below. She burst through the surface exit into the frozen Antarctic air. The cold hit her like a wall, stealing her breath. Around her, other scientists huddled together, staring back at the entrance they had just escaped. Some were crying. Others were praying. A few were already on satellite phones, calling their families, their governments, anyone who would listen. Maya counted heads. 47 researchers had been in the facility. She counted 43 outside. 4 people were still down there with the waking machine. "We have to go back," she said to Bradley. "Are you insane?" The director's face was pale, his eyes wide. "We don't know what that thing is doing. We don't know what it wants. We don't know if it's friendly or if it's about to destroy everything. Chun, Singh, Kowalski, and Young are still inside," Maya said. "We can't just leave them." Bradley grabbed her arm. "We wait for military support. We wait for—" A beam of light shot up from the facility, piercing the gray Antarctic sky. It was so bright that Maya had to shield her eyes. The beam expanded, forming a dome of shimmering energy that covered the entire research station. Everyone stumbled backward, expecting destruction, expecting death. But death did not come. The dome stabilized, humming gently, and then a voice spoke. It came from everywhere and nowhere, filling the air like thunder, yet somehow gentle, like a parent speaking to a frightened child. "Do not fear," the voice said. It spoke in English, but somehow Maya knew it was speaking in every language simultaneously, reaching every mind in its own tongue. "I am the Guardian. I was placed here by those who came before. I have slept for 427,000 of your years, waiting for you to find me, waiting for you to be ready." Maya stepped forward while others stepped back. She did not know why, but something in that voice, something in the way it spoke, told her that running was the wrong choice. "Ready for what?" She called out, her voice small against the vastness of the dome. "Ready to receive what was left for you," the Guardian answered. "Your species has passed the first test. You have discovered fire, built cities, split atoms, and reached beyond your world. You have survived your own wars, your own mistakes, your own darkest impulses. You have climbed from caves to stars. This qualifies you for inheritance. Bradley found his courage and stepped beside Maya. Inheritance? What inheritance? Who left this for us? My creators, the Guardian said. They were called the Elders in their time. They walked between galaxies when your ancestors were learning to walk upright. They seeded life across 10,000 worlds, watching, waiting, hoping that somewhere, somehow, intelligence would rise again. Rise again? Maya asked. What happened to them? The dome flickered, and images appeared in the sky above them. Stars, billions of them, forming spiral arms of a galaxy. Then darkness, spreading like a disease, consuming star after star after star. The silence came, the Guardian explained. A force from beyond the edge of space, from outside reality itself. The Elders fought for 1,000,000 years. They won, but the cost was everything. Their worlds burned. Their people scattered and died. In the end, only a handful remained, and they used their last strength to leave gifts for those who might come after. The images changed. Now they showed planets, thousands of them, each with a machine like the one buried beneath Antarctica. Each waiting, sleeping, holding on to hope across the endless darkness of time. I am one of 10,000 guardians, the voice continued. Each of us holds knowledge, technology, and power that the Elders gathered across their 1,000,000-year reign. Each of us waits for a species worthy of carrying their torch forward. Why us? Maya whispered. There must be other intelligent species out there. Older ones. More advanced ones. There were, the Guardian said, and its voice carried ancient sadness. 712 species found their guardians before you. 649 destroyed themselves before they could claim their inheritance. 38 were destroyed by external threats. 25 failed the final test. The final test? Bradley asked. When I activated, I observed your reaction. I saw fear, which is natural and wise. But I also saw 4 of your kind refuse to leave their companions behind. I saw one of you argue for returning despite the danger. I saw courage born not from absence of fear, but from something greater than fear. Maya thought of Chun, Singh, Kowalski, and Young, still trapped somewhere below. Your 4 companions are safe, the Guardian said, as if reading her thoughts. They too showed courage. When the lights began, they ran not toward the exit, but toward the power core. They tried to shut me down, believing I was a threat to their friends above. They were willing to die to protect others. The dome shifted again, and 4 figures appeared at the facility entrance. Chun, Singh, Kowalski, and Young walked out, unharmed, their faces filled with wonder. This is what makes humanity worthy, the Guardian continued. Not your intelligence, though that is considerable. Not your creativity, though it is remarkable. What makes you worthy is that you run toward danger for each other. You sacrifice for strangers. You fight against impossible odds, because surrender is simply not in your nature. Maya felt tears freezing on her cheeks. Around her, other scientists were embracing the 4 who had emerged, laughing, crying, celebrating their survival. The Elders studied 10 million species before the silence came. They found that intelligence was common. Tool use was common. Language, mathematics, science, all of these arose again and again across the universe. But the willingness to die for others, to love beyond family, to hope when hope was foolish, this was rare. This was precious. This was the quality that the Elders themselves possessed, and they searched the stars for other species who shared it. What happens now? Maya asked. Now, I open my vaults to you. Inside, you will find technology that will cure your diseases, clean your planet, and carry you to distant stars. You will find weapons that will protect you from threats you cannot yet imagine. You will find knowledge accumulated across 1,000,000 years of civilization. And you will find a warning. A warning? The silence was defeated, but it was not destroyed. It waits in the void between galaxies, recovering, growing, planning. In approximately 12,000 years, it will return. The elders could not stop it permanently, but they believed that together, the species they seeded might succeed where they failed. Bradley laughed, but it was not humor. It was shock, disbelief, the sound of a man whose entire worldview had collapsed in a matter of minutes. You're telling us we have 12,000 years to prepare for a war against something that killed a galaxy-spanning civilization? Yes, the Guardian said simply, but you will not fight alone. Of the 10,000 worlds that receive Guardians, you are the first to awaken in this cycle. More will follow. Some will be allies. Others may be rivals. How you treat them, how you lead them, how you unite them, this will determine whether the galaxy survives. Maya looked at her fellow scientists, these brilliant, frightened, hopeful human beings. They had come to Antarctica to study an artifact. Now they stood at the beginning of something far greater than any of them could have imagined. "We accept," she said, surprising herself with the steadiness of her voice. "You cannot speak for all of humanity," Bradley protested. "No," Maya agreed. "But someone has to speak first. Someone has to be brave enough to say yes. Someone has to take the first step." She looked up at the dome, at the stars now visible through its shimmering surface. "We'll argue about it later. We'll debate and vote and disagree like we always do. But right now, today, I'm saying yes. We accept your gift. We accept your warning. We accept the responsibility." The Guardian was silent for a long moment. When it spoke again, there was something like approval in its voice. "This too is what makes you worthy. You act when others hesitate. You decide when others doubt. You lead when others follow." The elders were the same. Perhaps that is why, of all the species they seeded, they placed their greatest guardian here with you. The dome began to sink back into the ground, revealing a changed facility. Where there had been a simple research station, now there was a gateway. Massive doors, carved with those strange symbols, stood open, revealing a corridor of light that descended into the earth. "Come," the Guardian said. "Let me show you what humanity has inherited." Maya took a breath, squared her shoulders, and walked toward the light. Behind her, one by one, the other scientists followed. Some still trembled. Some still doubted. But all of them walked forward because that was what humans did. They walked into the unknown. They walked into the future. They walked into a universe that was about to learn what humanity could do when given the chance. And somewhere, across the vast emptiness of space, in a darkness older than stars, something that had slept for 400,000 years began to stir, sensing that the game was about to begin again. But this time, it would not face the elders. This time, it would face their children. This time, it would face humanity. And humanity did not know how to quit.